This guy loves Aaron Rodgers, Chris Sims, who joins us on loan from NBC Sports and Pro Football Talk Live co-host on Peacock. Two-man race here for MVP, Chris?
I think so. I mean, Derrick Henry going into the weekend, I kind of put him on the top three, list there. But, of course, yesterday a little underwhelming. And, yeah, me. I mean, yes, I'm a little biased toward Aaron Rodgers. We know that. That's my favorite quarterback ever. I do think he's amazing. And for what it's worth this year, I really do think right now he is the leader in the clubhouse as the MVP. When you talk about everything he's doing, the support system around him and everything like that, I think it's a pretty amazing year.
If I put Rodgers on the Chiefs and Mahomes on the Packers, how much of a change?
That's a good question. I don't know if there'd be a whole lot changing as far as wins and losses. It might be a little bit of a different way in which each guy goes about it with their own personal flair and things like that. But I still think for the most part, you'd have Kansas City sitting there with one loss. And, maybe Mahomes is better than Rodgers as a pure player right now at this point of his career. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's the best quarterback in the game. So I don't know. Okay, maybe they don't lose that Tampa game where Rodgers throws 2 picks early or something like that. But I don't know if it would be a whole lot different.
Yeah, but I've got Travis Kelce, who Orlovsky said is the best non-quarterback, most valuable non-quarterback in the game. Rodgers doesn't have that. I mean, Devontae Adams is wonderful, but you put Tyreek Hill, you put that 4x100 relay team out there, and then you put Hilaire. They got a good offensive line, offensive-minded head coach, and Andy Reid. I don't know.
I know. You're preaching to the choir here. You know that. I mean, this is something where I do think people lose sight of that fact sometimes that, Mahomes, as awesome as he is, you could talk about Travis Kelce. And honestly, he's the second thing people worry about. When teams play Kansas City, the first guy they're worried about is Tyreek Hill. So imagine having Travis Kelce as the second option. And then when they get Sammy Watkins back healthy, you go, oh, man, now there's another matchup you have to worry about. So for the greatness of Mahomes, you're right. There's phenomenal talent there that sometimes gets lost in translation with that whole conversation.
I do have – it's not a big concern, but it's something I'm just filing away. Kansas City doesn't put teams away.
No, they do not. They're off. It's on their offense to put the teams away, right? We know their defense is not – it's not built to do that. They have one superstar player in Chris Jones. They have Honey Badger, who makes a few plays here and there, and Frank Clark. And other than that, it's just a lot of good with some really creative coaching by Steve Spagnuolo. But it's the second week in a row, right, Dan, where last week they let the Bucs hang around, wide open 90-yard touchdown pass to McCole Hardman. There's $9 billion on that Chiefs offense. It's on them to put these teams away. And you saw last night with the field goals and not scoring touchdowns, they let the Broncos hang around and never really delivered that final dagger until really, really late.
Did the Jets have a good day yesterday?
Yes, they did. I mean, until the last 6 seconds, but there was a lot to be happy about until then. I mean, I don't know what else to say. That's one of the dumbest calls I've seen in the history of football. It really is.
But the last 6 seconds were the best part of their day, Chris.
You're right. If you ask a Jets fan, it is. You're right. Because I was sitting here in the NBC viewing room, which, you've sat in it before, and we got a few Jet fans, and they were heartbroken that the Jets were leading late in the football game. They couldn't believe it. They were distraught, and they went crazy happy when the touchdown happened. So, I'm one, Dan, I don't know how you feel, but it seems like most Jets fans are over Sam Darnold and are ready to draft Trevor Lawrence, and they want to start that era. And I think it might be a little bit of a rush to judgment, but I understand the conversation and thought.
Well, I want to get on that rookie contract with my quarterback and then start to build there, get a new coach in there, new defensive coordinator, new coaching staff, all of that, and then see what I have. Now, I was told yesterday, don't be surprised if the Jets would hold on to Sam Darnold one more year if they do take Trevor Lawrence.
Ooh, wow. I don't know about that. I don't know how that would help them. I would think that would just lessen his value for a trade or anything like that. Plus, You don't want Trevor Lawrence coming in and having to deal with some of the faction of the locker room that are Sam Darnold supporters or anything. That wouldn't be a recipe for success. I would think they could get a second rounder for Sam Darnold, at some point in the offseason. The tough thing about Sam Darnold is we don't know exactly what he is yet. Every time he starts to play, he gets hurt or he gets mono or then he gets hurt again. So we've never seen extended, consistent, good play from him. I know the Jets, a lot of people there in that organization really think highly of him. But I think, Dan, to your point, this is going to be who's going to start this trend? Who is it going to be? Who's going to be the first team that finally says, we have a good team. And even though we win and our quarterback, he's not the franchise. We're good no matter what. And we're not going to pay him $38 million and ruin our team. Who is going to be the first team to do that? That's really what I can't wait for.
I was also wondering about this when I saw what the Jets did, and I went back to the previous drive. So the Jets give up the game winner, double move. There's no help over the top. They go all out blitzing. Vegas was 4th and 3 in the red zone with 1:45 to go or something like that. They're down 4. Williams called a blitz again, brought 7 defenders, and Derek Carr panicked and, had an incompletion, threw it off his back foot. They had to know they kept Darren Waller in on the final drive, the final play to block. Your best receiver is being kept in to block. So they knew what was happening. They knew Williams was going to send a blitz. I didn't understand an undrafted rookie on Ruggs and with no help and then biting on a double move. Like that.
No.
That I don't understand. Yeah. What role does the coaching staff play in telling these grown men, hey, whatever you do, don't let somebody get behind you?
Well, it doesn't matter because, there's so many things to break down there. First off, you talk about the pressure in the series before on the 4th down, and he, throws the incomplete pass. Hey, it's a different ball game, right? To blitz down there. You got the end zone behind you. You don't have to worry about deep passes, things like that. To do that where they did, there's so many things. First off, John Gruden probably has better understanding of Greg Williams' defense than any other defensive coordinator in football. My 6 years with John Gruden, man, when we played Greg Williams, he used to call plays every now and then, and I'd be like, man, is he expecting a blitz here? He's crazy if he thinks they're going to blitz. I'd get up underneath the center and be like, man, Johnny Gruden is right. They're going to blitz. Holy cow. I can't believe this. I was shocked by it. So he has great feel. There's a little personal rivalry there. And you're right. Obviously, he knew that. And the poor undrafted corner for the Jets, what is he supposed to do? Yeah, you want to tell him don't bite on any double moves. But if Henry Ruggs catches the slant, he's not going to be fast enough to catch him there and make the tackle either. So he's really was put in a no-win situation, and there's just no other way to say it other than that was just a horrible call, or, I don't know, Greg Williams was deliberately trying to stick it to Adam Gase and the Jets and wanted to blow the game. I don't know.
Are the Browns a good team or a very good team?
Ooh, I'm still going to go with good team. But the last 2 weeks I'm starting to think, maybe they are a very good team. They have 2 elite things about their football team, in my opinion, Dan. The first thing is their run game. You know that. The offensive line is special. They have the best O-line coach in football, and Bill Callahan. And then that 2-headed monster at running back. And then the other great advantage I look at them always is they have a front 4 that can get to the quarterback without blitzing or doing anything like that. And that's going to help in playoff football. When you can run the ball and pressure the quarterback, and Baker Mayfield playing with some confidence and not turning the ball over and doing that, they're on the verge, I think, of being very good, but I'm still going to go with good for right now.
And you bring up a couple of really good points when it comes to postseason football. Do you travel? Your running game travels. You got a good offensive line. You got a defensive front that can put some pressure on the quarterback. It's going to come down to Baker Mayfield not getting squirrely. I mean, it really is going to come down to that. That's Stefanski's done a wonderful job as a rookie head coach, but, I'm with you. The Rams, good or very good?
Oh, I'm still going to say good, too. I think the one part of their team that, I still question a little bit, and Jared Goff was really good yesterday, but when they play really good defenses and they can't run the ball, can their drop-back pass game win them football games? I think that's still a question mark for me, but they're on that same thing there. just on the cusp of being very good. I mean, little inconsistent, but that's the interesting about the NFC right now. The NFC, it seems like it's so up for grabs and has a chance, I think, to be a really exciting playoff run because the teams are so close and so equal.
I'm going to make you Doug Peterson for a week. Your starting quarterback against the Saints is?
Oh, I think I would probably go to Jalen Hurts finally. I would do it for two reasons. One, Carson Wentz is a beaten puppy. I mean, everything's his fault. Even when it's not his fault, we all blame him. So I think he's kind of like deer in the headlights right now. The team needs a little new energy, new lift. And I think at the very least, okay, if he does well, you go, hey, look, he did well. This is great. But if he fails, you can then maybe quiet some of the critics too, and then go, look, see, he wasn't quite ready yet. Let's just give him time. We'll still play with him and use him in certain situations. But I think if I'm Philly right now, I probably do make that move.
Yeah, I do too. And I wonder the value of Carson Wentz in the offseason.
It's a valid question. I think there's no way they can get rid of him because of the salary cap situation. It's such a big dead cap money. And I think there's still, if Doug Peterson's there's still enough believers. I think that coaching staff's realistic enough to know, hey, the kid's got talent. We haven't done the best job with him. And then, of course, Howie Roseman and some of the bust on the offensive side of the ball with draft picks and things like that. It's not exactly talent around him either. So I think they're going to give him one more shot almost no matter what happens the rest of this year.
Yeah, we were wondering about the value of Carson Wentz, and I said value maybe for the Colts and Frank Reich and reunite those two after Philadelphia. I don't know what
it's a good thought.
But Sam Darnold's value on the open market, I don't know what kind of value that would be. I don't know what the Patriots are going to do. I don't know what San Francisco is going to do. What Atlanta's going to do.
Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I know. I don't know that. I did want to bring this up before we go. Bill Belichick, what he did on the road against the Chargers, 45-0, and Cam throws for less than 100 yards. I don't know what Belichick is doing. You watch the All-22, so you see whatever. There's no greater game plan adjusting coach in the history of sports, in my opinion, than Belichick. From series to series, quarter to quarter, game to game, he somehow does something with an offense that's, is makeshift.
Yeah.
But was that impressive, what they did against the Chargers?
Definitely. Very impressive. Now, the Chargers, with their special teams issues, always find ways to make teams look better, right? But New England is playing almost perfect football in all three phases of the game for about 5-6 weeks straight now. And that's because of the head coach. That's where, Dan, you and I had the conversation. COVID-19, forget the damn talent on the team or anything. The fact that Belichick couldn't be there coaching them and on them with all the details and all that, that was the biggest issue they had during COVID-19. But the big thing about them, Cam manages the game the right way. The offensive line is one of the best in football as far as running is concerned, and they run the proper plays into the right look every time. And then, their defense and everything there. That Chargers team, it's a top 10 defense, a top 10 offense. To get blown out like that's pretty embarrassing. And I would think Anthony Lynn's a little in trouble there.
But would you rather face the Bills or the Patriots in the postseason?
Oh, I would probably. The Bills are playing better. You got me stumbling all over myself here. I'd probably want to see the Bills. I probably would. You're right. The Patriots coming to the town with that run game, running the clock, that's secondary, and the things they can do there to shut down just about any passing unit in football, I think would be very scary. That's a close one, but I think because of the Patriots' mystique, I'd probably rather see the Bills than the Patriots.
Thank you, Chris. As always, we appreciate you getting up with us.
You the man. I've been up for a while, and tell all those good guys I said hello.
Good guys?
Yeah.
These guys say stuff behind your back, though, Chris.
All right, I take it back. Tell those jerks I said hello.
Okay, that's better. That's better. Thank you. That's Chris Sims on loan from Peacock Pro Football Talk, co-host and, of course, Football Night in America.